What's happening, YouTube? You are listening to Immortal Coil, your future minister of whiskey mysticism. Revolution is my name. Just a humble immortal from a savage land, reminding you that when the spin becomes weird, the truth becomes savage. The Matrix Resurrections has finally dropped, and you can catch it in theaters and you can catch it on HBO Max. But should you? Here's my take on it. 22 years removed from the initial Matrix motion picture, The Matrix Resurrections attempts to recontextualize the first film in light of modern events. Resurrections co-writer Alexander Hemon, in an interview with the AV Club, made it very clear that part of the film's narrative was indeed to address certain socio-political realities as he perceives it. Things like the red pill, blue pill trope or meme and how it was kidnapped by the right wing. The verb to red pill and so on. So one thing we were mindful of is how to reclaim that trope, to renew the meaning of red pill, blue pill. He says, I am infused with a need to confront some of the things that are taking place in this country, meaning the United States of America. But we did not set out to get into arguments with right-wingers. My personal position is I don't discuss things with Nazis and fascists. There's nothing to talk about. One of us is just going to be left standing, and I want it to be me and my people. Co-writer David Mitchell, albeit with less venom, also echoed the political sentiments of the film. I don't see myself as a frontline runner in the culture war, but you also want your work to mean something, to have an ethical edge. One of the many reasons I'm proud of Resurrections is it does have that. What I'm trying to say is, I think the film has integrity, and perhaps that's the source of the integrity. Anna Wachowski, however, has gone through a very public physical transformation in transitioning from a male born as Larry Wachowski to a female named Lana Wachowski. This film, therefore, is meta beyond meta. And the intent of this video essay is not to debate the rightness or the wrongness of transitioning from a male to female. This channel and our associates could care less what physical shape or form or gender or ethnicity your physical container possesses. The only thing that matters is whether you are a kind and compassionate person or whether you are not a kind and compassionate person. Because in the end, it is only a vehicle for experience. It is the mind and the spirit that is most important. That's savage spirituality. Having got that out of the way, because of the experiences of the writers and because of their choice to use this film to write what they know about, the entire thing ends up becoming a gigantic trans allegory. Now, we'll have more to say on this as we summarize the video towards the end, but stick with me for the analysis. It's going to get good. When we catch up with Neo, we discover that he does not know who he is. He is a patient of the analyst, who, according to the AV Club interview, represents the right. The analyst keeps him in denial and keeps him heavily medicated, imprisoning him from his true self as the one. Thomas Anderson actually has an untrue reflection of his inner self projected back at him whenever he looks into a mirror. Even the name Anderson. Ander comes from a root word meaning man or male. So you have a man who is at odds with the reflection that is coming back at him from the mirror. Then we find out later in the movie that Neo and Trinity were both physically destroyed by the machines and then physically rebuilt as bodies. An androgynous character named Bugs, portrayed by Jessica Henwick, rescues Neo and assists him in his quest to rescue his feminine counterpart, Trinity. The Matrix itself has been reworked. Familiar names of characters suddenly have different actors portraying them. The in-world excuse being that different skins were given to the program. The entire experience of Neo through the first 3 movies have been repackaged as a video game that Thomas Anderson in-world programmed. The idea of the yin-yang, the balance between a male and a female, is symbolically redefined in Resurrections as Yang's rebirth as yin. Neo's Matrix abilities have changed. In addition to Kung Fu and stopping bullets, he's able to give this Street Fighter II Hadouken blast, which clears a radius, much like a force push. You see Starkiller and Darth Vader doing this kind of thing in Star Wars media all the time. As the film climaxes and concludes, Trinity wakes up to her own divinity, sort of retroactively becomes another version of the One, who is able to then pull Neo to his true potential, where at the end they are both the One. A sort of B-plot to this movie is the fact that the writers, their ultimate echo chamber, which they have named the Pit, offer commentary on the Hollywood reboot mentality. This part of the movie, in my opinion, does have valid criticism because Hollywood is not creative anymore. They simply wish to take old properties and reboot them and recontextualize them to tell you that, oh, this is what this property actually really means now. And all the shit in the past was just ignorant. And I find it, again, extremely, extremely meta that they are choosing to do this with the Matrix. Now, I do have to commend the creators of the Matrix for maintaining the amount of control that they had over their IP. But I can't help but feel that these people have been manipulated and used based on their past and perhaps based on what they might owe the studio in terms of favors, combined with a desire to have some sort of personal tranquility after having gone through such momentous change. It's a normal human thing, but how it's expressed in art can tell you just as much about a person's perspective and consciousness as it can going, ooh, that's geometrically pretty and those colors are awesome and I feel happy or I feel sad or I feel angry. Droll business meeting expressing the need to create more product, specifically invoking Warner Brothers as a studio entity who in real life did oversee the Matrix franchise, effectively symbolize this concept. The Matrix is a franchise that is famously introspective. Even the idea of the things that made the first Matrix so groundbreaking, things like I know Kung Fu, and Yuen Wu Ping's amazing fight choreography, are almost caricatured for emphasis of this point, that these tropes are tired and worn out and that the studio just wants to milk it for eye candy. I get the civil disobedience here, but this particular decision hurt the movie overall. In the end, I think it boils down to this. The reason that the first Matrix hit so hard is because it told a fairly universal tale, a new spin on Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, but told with sort of a cyberpunk anime edge to it. The hero's journey specifically is shown to be universally positively psychologically responded to because it is a series of archetypes. The Matrix Resurrections, because it is so of its time and reacting to single limited slice of the political realities in the late 20-teens, is going to forever trap the film in this range of identity politics media. Much the same way that you can say 90s entertainment was supposed to be extreme. The 20-teens and the early 2020s are going to be remembered as that time in cinema when everything was woke. But when the pendulum swings back the other way, it's going to be just another fad, another pet rock in pop culture. In my opinion, there has not been an exceptional Matrix movie made since 1999. My name's Immortal Coil. Like, share, subscribe, drop me a comment. Let me know what you want to see on future editions of Savage Spirituality. Take care, my friends. Stay savage.
Yeah!